Welcome, everybody, to Friday night edition of Catfish Weekly. Cindy Stokes is here with me, and we have Josh and Trevor in the boat live on the Missouri River somewhere in the St. Joseph area. How you boys doing tonight?
Doing good. How about you?
Well, I'm not fishing, so I'm not doing as good as you.
Yeah. Well, you're catching just about as many fish as we are.
Yeah, that could change at any minute. You're on the mighty Missouri now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is our first time out here.
How do
Not
you,
mine.
Josh? Have you ever seen current lights up there?
In flood stages at home, but never on the average.
Right, right. That Missouri River is a horse of another color.
Yeah,
For the
Yeah,
it is.
I've never fished it this high.
Yeah, is it bank full?
Not quite bank full anymore, but you can see the water line where it's came down like 3 or 4 foot. But I mean, a lot of the wing dikes are still
What?
6 to 10 foot
Yeah,
of water over them.
Wow. I want to let everybody know that tonight's special is presented by D&T Custom Live Wells and Rod Racks.
Yeah, that was a nice rod rack he built you.
I kind of like that myself. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And the live well, all the parts will be here for it the first of the week. So we'll be getting that baby installed and showing everybody what that looks like. So, how far you guys been away from the home boat ramp up there? Long ways or short distance?
last night it was about the furthest we went. We probably went 19 to 20 miles downriver, and we've been having some issues. Uh, the first day that we got out here, we realized that our Navionics card wasn't uploaded with any data. So we didn't have any maps of the river. We didn't know where the wing docks were. We didn't know if the water was high, if it was low. And it kind of just made us nervous not knowing where anything was, not being on familiar water.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even show you the pattern of the river at all. I mean, it was nothing.
Oh
So
man.
we were blind more or less.
Well, I'm sure that the wing dikes are all underwater or covered up, and that's no place to be doing that. You need to know roughly where they're at, anyhow.
Right.
Yeah, and most of them are, 6 to 10 foot underwater, but there has been a couple that's just 2 foot under the water.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of the bigger ones.
Well, like I say, without a card, not knowing where they're at, and not being familiar with that area, the last thing you want to do is be out there in the middle of the night, tear a lower unit or something up.
Yeah, exactly. And we got lucky enough. We talked to one of the girls that work at the hotel we're staying at. She told us about the library down the street, so we went down there and got the card uploaded, and we've just now got some mapping of this water. So
Good deal. Good
we
deal.
actually know where we're at now.
So tell everybody what the current is on the Missouri River up there where you guys are at.
Oh, anywhere from some areas you can find as low as 3, but most of it's over 4, around from some to 5. If you get a pinch point, it's really roaring. I mean, really, really roaring.
Well, that's not terrible then.
No,
Now, from what I've heard, that's about normal.
Yeah, yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. I don't know if they've ever started releasing all the water from the dams on those two lakes up in South Dakota yet or not. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think someone was talking about that yesterday, that they was going to start releasing 45,000 from them.
man,
so it's gonna stay up probably for a little while.
yeah, it will if they haven't released it. But it's July. I would normally they start releasing before now, but I like fishing high water.
Yeah, it's just steadily dropping. There's still some bunch of big. There's some big logs still floating down here. So people are definitely gonna want to be careful if they're down here. You better
That's
be paying attention to what's coming down river because it can get pretty bad.
that's exactly right. Matt Moore says you guys caught any fish today?
No,
No,
we just got out here. Actually, we didn't even get on the water till 5.
You guys have had some problems while you've been up there.
yeah, a lot. It's been
Not,
one problem after another.
not only your Navionics card, did you have some trailer problems too?
Yep.
Yeah, we've I've had a bunch of issues out of this trailer, and I know several other G3 owners that's had trouble out of their trailers. One of the bunks had broke off the trailer, and it had took the supporting brackets with it, and it just left behind some sharp, jagged aluminum. So there wasn't any way we was putting that boat back in that trailer.
Yeah.
And I gave Bear Trailer a call, and I've been kind of working with them over the past month or so, getting some replacement parts for this trailer. And I told them that we're stuck right now. We can't put this boat back on this trailer. And they said, let me give you a call back in about 10 minutes. And he called me back and he said, can we have you a new trailer there tomorrow? And I said, absolutely. I mean, that's awesome. Even though they're having quality issues out of their trailers, the company is standing behind their product.
Well, taking care of your people, regardless, if they have some issues, a company that size will get that under control. I know where Bear Trailer Manufacturing Company is. It's right off Highway 44 there. And if they're aware of a problem and they're trying to justify it, and my understanding is they brought you a trailer up there.
Yeah, they're actually going to be here like at 8 o'clock tonight. They're going to meet us at the boat ramp and swap our trailer for the new one. Well,
that's awesome. That's pretty good customer service. And like I say, as a thing that high, a company that large will get their quality control under control, and they'll get it straightened out. Matt Moore says that he can't wait to catch up with you guys tomorrow.
Is Matt here?
I understand he's going to be there.
Yeah, no, me and him have been kind of chatting back and forth on YouTube. I didn't know when he was going to be down here.
Dirty Old Catfishing wants to know if you're fishing L dikes.
Nope, we're actually posted up above a big old log jam right now.
Big old log jam. Looking for them big old flatheads.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we have tried fishing docks the past couple of days, and we've looked on the flats behind them and the scour holes. We hadn't had a whole lot of luck in either one of them, so we're kind of going back to our roots now and fishing stuff we know how to fish at home.
Yeah, because I mean it hasn't been for lack of scanning. We have scanned miles and miles and miles of this river.
Well, that's one of the most important things. You won't find them unless you spend the time looking for them.
Yeah. I mean, we found fish, but we haven't found the fish that we're looking for that we know it's going to take to win this thing. I mean,
yeah, it's going to take a pretty good sack to do any good up there. Matt says he'll be there about 11 tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, cool.
So that'll be great. We got a bunch of people in chat tonight.
Good.
Yeah, pretty cool deal.
Yeah, they're going to have a heck of a turnout for this tournament. I mean, Catfish Chasers, they probably have 150 boats, like 130 pre-registered.
Yeah, they had 135 pre-registered earlier when I talked to Dave, and they're thinking 150 to 155 is going to end up being here.
Man, that's a great opportunity for a lot of people. They got a really good bunch of prizes for everybody and a lot of money, so it'll be a really awesome. And Matt Lott says, tell them to download the Navionics app on their phone. It's as good as your card and it costs $10.
Oh, we got it too.
Okay.
Appreciate it though.
Yeah, that's what the Catfish guys are trying to help everybody out.
Yeah. That's right. That's true.
Dirty Order of Catfishing St. Joseph is north of Kansas City. I'm not sure how far, 60, 80 miles, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. About an hour north. Longer than that if you're in a boat, probably going upstream.
Yeah. John Spears, there's a very large catfishing tournament at St. Joseph tomorrow night. It's a 15-hour tournament. They are not in a tournament now, however, they are pre-fishing for tomorrow night.
Yeah, and if people on a whim want to come down here, you can't just show up down here and register. You got to go to J&B Outdoors, I think, by noon or something like that. You're going to have to look, but to pre-register, you can't just show up at the ramp and pay money to enter. They're not doing that, so.
Well, that's the correct way to do something of that size. That's a big tournament, and like I say, they've got a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of great prizes. There's a chance of winning a new pickup. So, uh, yeah, 15 hours. That's a long time.
Yeah, there is. You know, there's a lot of good catfishermen that are here chasing that money. Believe it.
Yes, there is. There's a lot of them up there. A lot of them come from quite a ways. You guys are a long way from Alabama.
A long way home.
14-hour drive.
14 hours.
It'll actually be like 16 for me home because I had 14 at Josh's house and then another an hour and 45 minutes to my house.
So you're going to stop at Josh's and take a nap on the way back?
It depends. That might have to happen. I'm getting old. I'm not young. If I was Josh's age, I'd probably try to power through. But
yeah.
I'm known to just be sitting in the chair on the boat. Next thing you know, my chin is in my chest, and I'm just waking up at the next spot when Josh is throwing anchor.
Well, you guys are going to have a great time up there regardless, so that's outstanding.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. This river here is the first big river tournaments I ever even started fishing in the catfish community. Better than that, it was small lakes and rivers up in Iowa that, I fished for years, but coming down to KC Cat tournaments and different tournaments are down here, this is the first. This is like coming back home, to where it all started.
Absolutely. Jeremy Beecham says, thanks for coming to the Midwest. And I agree. So many guys don't want to travel up here and fish the big rivers. I don't know if they're afraid of them or just what, but with the prize money these guys are getting together for these tournaments in our area now, a lot of these guys are going to have to be making it up here. It's just the way it is, there's some great fish on that Missouri River too.
Dude, it's almost good for you guys, that live down here because there is monsters in this Missouri River.
Yes, sir.
I know numerous fish, 90 plus that have been caught out of here.
Oh, yeah.
I personally know guys that have caught more fish over 75 pounds that live here than I do down in Alabama. Really, there's a lot of big fish in this river.
Mike Simpson wants to know if you guys live near Russellville, Alabama.
That's north of me. And I live south of Birmingham. I live in Calera, and Josh lives over by Gadsden, Rainbow City.
I'm not quite sure where Russellville is. I've heard of it.
West of Decatur, kind of down below 157, right down south of 157.
Okay.
Kind of Coleman, Moulton area.
Okay.
All right. Mid-South Outdoor Life wants to know what you guys do for your daytime jobs.
I am in construction.
And I'm a CNC programmer for a machine shop.
Awesome.
So, we got some good jobs, but the most important thing is, we got bosses that let us go out and do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, if I didn't have a boss that is cool as I'm very blessed to have a company that just lets me go fish these tournaments whenever. They're just open for me leaving,
That's
pretty
good.
You're not going to find too many people that are just going to be okay with that.
No, and that's one of the problems that a lot of guys have is they have to save up their vacation time and then pick out what tournaments or where they're going to go fish and when they're going to do it. And then when something jumps up like this one has, it become really big in a matter of a couple of months. And guys have already put in for vacations and stuff, and they didn't know about it in time. Some of them are not going to be able to make it on that account, but a lot of them have made arrangements so they could be there for this tournament because of the size and the payout and all the prizes that are there.
Right.
Yeah.
Sarah, Josh, and Trevor are both live in Alabama.
Yep. I'm from up here, though. I'm from the Midwest.
Yep. What part of Iowa are you originally from, Trevor?
I'm from central Iowa, right around the Des Moines area. I grew up in a little town called Van Meter.
What?
Van Meter, Iowa.
Van Meter.
Yep, it's like a town of 1,500 people.
Oh my gosh, I never even heard of it.
That's right.
Hey, Glenn from Rig Raft, welcome. And no, it's not Monday, it's Friday. This is a Friday night special.
Has Glenn sold out of all the cases yet?
I don't know. Glenn, let me know if you have sold out all the Rig Pack cases that you have coming. There was only 100, and I know the other day he was pretty close. And
I need one of those in my life bad.
You have no idea how bad you do need it. They're amazing. I can't wait to get a new one. Okay.
Oh.
Well, Matt, I'll tell you, Cindy and I wanted to make this tournament. We're having some issues. We got our new live well and our rod rack in, and everything is going great, except for the parts to hook up the live well won't be here till Monday. That's one of the reasons we're getting there. And as we was putting the rod rack in the other night, we lowered the motor down, and it's not raised back up. So I'm waiting to find out what I got to do to get that little issue fixed. It's always worked perfect, but it's not working now. So that's why we're not there. We had kind of planned on being there for that, and it just didn't work out this time. Thank you, Dustin. We like doing Friday night specials.
Yeah, your situation kind of sounds like mine. We had ordered a new microphone and video setup to film with our channel, and it arrived maybe an hour and a half after we left.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to bring it along with us today.
Well, you know, things happen, and that's just part of it. It's kind of like guys say, well, I'm not catching any fish. Well, that's why they call it fishing and not catching. But usually,
usually when I do good pre-fishing, we don't do that great in tournaments. So I'm hoping this doing crappy, the tide's going to switch tomorrow.
Going to set them on fire. Set them on fire. Joe Roberts says he'll see you fellas tomorrow. You'll have a blast with Joe. He's a super nice guy. Very knowledgeable. He could probably tell you where the fish are at. Now, whether he will or not remains.
He'll tell us after the tournament.
I have a pretty good idea what section of the Missouri River he's probably going to be heading towards.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I don't think it's going to be up this way.
It may not be, but I guarantee you he knows where something's at.
He's caught more big fish on this river than anybody else I know.
And he's caught a lot of them. So you guys are anchor fishing tonight while you're pre-fishing. Are you going to do mostly anchor fishing while you're up there, or are you going to do some bumping or drifting, or how you plan on attacking this monster?
Well, the reception up here is so bad that we tried. We kind of moved to where we had good signal and a pretty decent looking spot, so we could do this live feed. I mean, but we're going to do a bunch of different things, whatever it takes, because we've been trying everything and it hasn't been working. So we just got to keep grinding, you know.
Yep. And you'll be out most of the night probably tonight, won't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We plan on fishing until 6 a.m. probably.
Okay.
Then we'll head back to the hotel and get some sleep and get ready for this 15-hour tournament.
Well, Josh, I know that you're not really an older guy. Trevor's so old, you can probably let him sleep and catch most of the fish tomorrow night and then tell him about it afterwards.
No, he does okay. He does nap sometimes. And
is that what's going to happen at Mississippi River Bunch too? You're just going to be sleeping and I'll be running all the fish?
Yeah, I figure I can get you to run the trolling motor and Cindy can catch the fish.
He's going to take a nap anyways.
Yeah, I'll probably take it.
He does pretty good. We do a lot of what we call marathon fishing. It's 30+ hours on the water.
I've seen those videos. My God, guys! I mean, even a young guy like you's got to wear out at some time.
Yeah, we do. We eventually wear out. We get to where we get bites and we just sit here and watch them.
Speaking of that marathon thing, you guys have a contest going on where somebody's going to win a trip with you guys. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah. The contest ends at the end of this month. There's only 2 requirements. You have to be one of our subscribers on YouTube, and there's an original Facebook post, and all you got to do is share that. And
I did that.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all you got to do, and it's all expenses paid trip. You just come down here. We're going to buy your fishing license, and we're going to go fish on any lake you want to fish in Alabama.
Man, that is an outstanding deal. I am so proud of you guys for putting that contest on. Somebody is going to have a great time fishing with you two.
Yeah, and we're going to announce the winner on Catfish Weekly. I think it's like the 29th.
I believe that's right.
Yeah, so make sure you tune into that. That's going to be – I'm excited. I keep telling Josh, I can't wait to find out who wins that tournament or that contest. I am super excited.
Yeah, and we're going to be fishing in either October or November. Whichever weekend is the winner has free. We're gonna leave it up to them.
That's awesome, Glenn. We will be happy to do that. But first, tell us if you have any of the 100 of the rig packs left for sale. And Glenn with Rig Wrap has random.org up, and he has the chat list of all the people that's in chat loaded up, and we're going to give away something here in a minute.
Oh, that's awesome.
They have a few, Trevor, so don't fool around. If you want one, you get a hold of Glenn at rigwrap.com and get that baby ordered up, because you really do need one. You might not think so, but trust me, you do.
Yeah.
Josh, pick out a number between 1 and 5, and let's let Glenn roll up the winner and see who is going to get to spin at the Rig Wrap Prize Week.
How about number 3?
Number 3, Glenn. This might take a few minutes because he's in chat. We are not.
That's fine.
But we got some time, don't we, boys?
Yeah. And we actually have another contest going on. If people that are follow us on Facebook probably know about that, but we just started getting these shirts done. And so right now, if you get a shirt from us and you go out and go fishing with it on, the person, whoever catches the biggest fish, and you need to take a picture or video of you weighing the fish so we know it's legit, will win a $180 rod package from us.
Man, that's outstanding.
Yeah, and that goes on till the end of August.
Big T Fishing wants to know, do you sell 6X?
No, currently we do have some big and tall sizes. The biggest that we offer right now is 4X tall.
4X tall.
And that's just the company's policy. That's as big as they go on the company side. All
right, we have a winner, Ryan Outdoorsman. Cindy, give her a spin. Let's see what we can do for Ryan.
Over there. Slip out of the red horse.
I heard so.
Catfish Clothing. Ryan Outdoorsman, if you will contact Matthew Miles with Catfish Clothing and tell him that you won a prize on Catfish Weekly on the Friday night special with Josh and Trevor, he will hook you up with a great package. And thank you for watching Catfish Weekly. And Glenn, thanks for talking us into spinning the Rig Wrap prize wheel. Hang on, folks. You never know. We just might have to do it again.
We need one of these rods to go down.
Yes, you do. We was really hoping you guys would lay one out while we was live, and I know you got to meet your guy about that trailer here in a little bit, so we don't want to keep you too long. But
they're going to call us when they're like an hour out, and they haven't even called us yet.
No.
Oh well, we're good then.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Y'all want to go?
Yeah, we'll talk for however long you want. I don't care.
Well, as long as the people stay in here, to tell you the truth, I don't. If they leave you, we can just shoot the crap.
That's true.
So, hey, Lyle, let me ask you a question. Do you have something in this river called red horse?
Red horse suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you catch those?
I don't catch them there very often. Now, the smaller rivers down in southwest Missouri, we catch them quite frequently, and they're like any other sucker. They're oily and make pretty good bait.
Yeah.
Well, we actually brought a bag of them with us. We catch them in Alabama, and that's one of the best baits that we use on the Coosa River. The Coosa River is it's probably 2 hours from the Tennessee River, and that's where me and Trevor live. And that's probably the best blue cat bait for that river. But he just reminded me that we have a bag in the cooler.
Oh, cool.
So we might end up having to swap bait here and just give it a shot and see how it works.
Yeah, we might have to do that. Here.
Absolutely. They're very good bait because they are oily, just like skipjack and stuff. And it's something that they're not 100% familiar with, but they are available. And something else that works really well. And I can tell you the same as everybody else watching the show. Do you all know what quillback is?
I'm not familiar with it.
Well, it's basically, it's sort of like a red horse sucker. They're not a sucker, I don't believe, but they're, again, oily and very good bait. I like to use both of those live if I can. They work really exceptionally well for flatheads.
How big does your red horse get here?
I'm going to say a pound would be a big one.
Ooh, yeah. In Alabama, they grow up to 8 pounds.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm saying 1.5 times the size of my hand would be a really big one. Now, I'm not saying they don't get bigger than that. That's just as big as what I've seen.
Yeah, we've got some in the cooler that's probably 2.5 to 3 pounds, and that's a good red horse for us. But
yeah,
they get a lot bigger in Alabama.
Travis Davis says you might catch 3 or 4 red horse a year that far north, and I would say that's probably right. But I don't up there. I don't know of anybody, Travis, that really fishes for them unless you do. Gold eye, moon eye. You're right, Matt. That is great bait. If you can get some moon eye, I would recommend that for sure.
We're gonna have to try to get some of those. I think variety could be the key, and figuring out what they want.
I agree. Arch Adventure says skip the sucker and find the moon eye. Moon eye is great bait, and again, it's like I was telling you about Asian carp. I like Asian carp. The hotter the weather, better I like it. One thing about Asian carp, it stays on the hook. I can't hardly get it off. Really like that. The other thing is it's become a natural food source, but anytime that I can get moon eye, believe me, I'm getting it because it works out really well.
Now, on the moon eye, can you catch them in a cast net, or are they too elusive like skipjack?
My favorite way to catch them is with a cast net because I don't have time to take crickets and stuff and go out and try to catch them that way. And what I like to do is behind old barges that's been sitting a long time with a running through and throw that cast net up through there, and you'll get an occasional skipjack and some shad and different things. But that's where I catch my moon eye most of the time.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of people catching them on hook and bobber, but I didn't know anything about the cast net. I didn't know if that was really, really fast like skipjack are.
No, not really. But if you can find a slackwater area around some structure or behind a barge, a lot of times behind old barges, it's been sitting a while. If you can get your boat up behind there and crickets, you can catch those moon eye in there on crickets a lot of times. Mm-hmm. But I like moon eye. But Matt says hard to find moon eye when the water's this muddy, and that is true. But if you can find an eddy or something where the mud's not quite as bad, you might be able to find a few.
Yeah, the water clarity here right now is
terrible,
little to nothing.
I was going to say probably 0 or less.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, well, when the water gets that high on the big rivers, that's the way it is. Now, when it's at its worst in Alabama, it probably is not even close to what you guys are seeing right now.
No.
But
not close at all.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. It probably never gets like that. But then again, they don't call it the Muddy Missouri for nothing.
That's true. That is true.
So tell us about your guys' boat you're fishing out of, fellas.
This is a G3 Sportsman 200. I've had this boat since March of 2017. It's hometown. or his home state is actually in Missouri, so he got to come back home for a little while. Be back home because it's not treating us well, but it's a great boat, especially for rough water. We've been in some really bad stuff in it, and I've never felt unsafe. It's very, very, very rare that you get wet in the rough water, and this thing just slices through it. And I've seen some other boats out there that throw off a bunch of spray, and guys that had trolling motors froze up on the front of their boats.
I seen that down at your neck of the woods earlier this year.
There was a lot of that. Yeah, there was a lot of people had some trolling motor issues, and I think actually one guy melted his enclosure trying to thaw it out.
Oh, Glenn, I'm afraid if they go to moving their camera around, they don't have a whole lot of signal up there. I'm afraid if they go moving their camera around to show us the end of the boat, that they might lose the signal that they have. So we probably are going to do that another time. Michael says on the Illinois River, the Asian carp, young ones, are so thick that they fill his cast net about an inch long. So he's figuring that the fish are probably full of them, and I'd say that's probably right. Mid-South Outdoors would like to know what the top speed on that 200 is, and in what RPM range are you turning?
The 200, the top speed average by myself is between 49 to 50. It doesn't change much more once I have someone in the boat, but if you put weight up front, it starts to slow down a little bit. Wide open, fully trimmed, anywhere between 6,000 to 6,200, and by the owner's manual, that's about right. Now, I have repropped this motor before with the prop that comes on the 150s, and I got an extra 3.5 miles an hour out of it. The issue is that prop is a $600 prop, and that's a lot of money for a piece of metal that I already have. So I haven't spent the money on that luxury just yet.
Well, stainless props are pretty expensive.
They are.
To a lot of guys, 3 mile an hour is quite a big deal.
Yeah, especially tournament guys. You want to always be the first out of the gate, because you don't know if the guy behind you's got the same spot in mind.
That's true.
That is exactly right. And we've fished for years. I have a boat that run 34 mile an hour period. No matter what you do, I've tried different props and everything. 34 is all you'll get. We also had boats that had run 60, and that's pretty fun, but it's not as much fun as it was a few years ago when I was you guys' age. It was it is now, and it's not that I'm afraid to go that fast. I just have less desire to do it than I used to have.
Right.
But
last year it really showed us, because we were fishing out of a 15-foot tri hole at Winter Blues, and top speed on it was about 33, 34 mile an hour. And we were boat like 37, 38. And by the time we got out on the main lake, we was probably boat 90, boat 100.
Yep.
We've been passed so many times and had big wakes hit us, and we had to stop. We just had to stop and let everybody go before we got ran over.
I'll never forget, and I may have told this story on the show a time or two, but Craig Shoemate fished with Cindy and I in our old tractor several years ago in a tournament down in St. Louis. And we left out number 2 that day in that tournament, and we had 4 places to pick out, and somebody beat us to all 4 of them, and we didn't go but 9 miles. I told Cindy then, I said, we got to do something if we're going to be down here going up the Missouri River, because it was high. It was the spring of the year, and the current was really tough. But, yeah, I've had it the other way where we passed everybody on the water too, and that's okay. We had Jason Burgess with us one day, and we fished a tournament up on Mississippi up north, and we left out of there behind everybody, and by the time we got to the dam at Canton, we was probably a mile ahead of the next closest guy. But I promise you one thing, boys, 3 mile an hour to a guy like Brent Riddle, he's going to get that 3 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent's not going to leave anything on the water anywhere.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I know at one time he was thinking about putting a 400 on his new Alpha Cat.
Yep.
That's a big motor.
That is a big motor.
And that 300 we had on the Monster Cat, that when we had it, depending on conditions, of course, it'd run this or that, but it was a very fast boat. But I don't have any idea how fast this Alumacraft will go. I've never had it wide open for any extended period of time, so I'm not sure. But we're gonna find out here one of these days, just so I know.
Right.
Arch Adventures says 30 mile an hour upriver and 35 down in his 2004 17V with a 90 E-Tech. I've seen another one on here. Big T Fishing says if he just waxed it, he can get 40 normally, but 35 if not. I do understand that, and people don't think that stuff makes a difference, but it really does. But, you know, every little bit, if you're competing against 150 guys, 1 or 2 mile an hour, if you're going any distance at all, make a world of difference.
Yeah.
Especially
some guys going all the way to Kansas City for this tournament.
That's
over a 60-mile run.
Yeah, there'll be several of them do that. Cindy has a tool here that our buddy John Nordyke made for us, made for her basically, and he give a bunch of them away. It's for when you're on that river and you have a lot of Asian carp coming in your boat. She's going to show you her tool that stops them. We lost your video. There you are. You're back. But John made a bunch of these little baseball bats with leather in the boat. You tag them with that, and then you just cut them up and use them for bait.
I got hit all in the head with an oar one day.
Yeah, I took it away from her that day. I can't hear you, Dustin.
Oh, no. About crash, boom, bang there.
What are you guys doing, man? I thought you was catching fish.
We're trying to keep this video going. Is it Georgia?
Yeah.
I've been eyeballing them new shirts you guys got. Josh, tell us about the shirts and tell them how they can get one of them shirts.
Yeah, you can go to Facebook, and the easiest way is just to message us on there right now. But we do have a website, and it is up, but the links aren't working properly right now, and I just haven't had time to mess with them. But just message us on Facebook and tell us your size. Anything smaller than a 2X is 20, and there's a little bit of an upcharge for the bigger and taller shirts. It's not much more, but we do carry all the way up to a 4X tall, and we can have sizes as small as a youth medium. And we had a lot of people asking for different colors because, you know, it is the heat of the summer. So we do have some gray ones coming also, and the gray ones will be here on Wednesday.
Awesome. Cad Daly says Hollywood 1 and Hollywood 2.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to see Cad up here on this one.
That's a long trip, but there's some great fish to be caught up there on that Missouri River now. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
I know there's been some pictures and some comments made of some pretty good fish being caught up there in the last week or so. So I figure that tomorrow night, you guys, somebody will get into them pretty hot and heavy.
I believe so. Someone's going to get into them.
Oh, yeah. Travis Davis wants to know if there's any rain yet. Said it's been raining just north of St. Joe.
It looks like it's raining north of St. Joe.
It's pretty dark out here right now. I know they were talking about some storms tonight, and I think they were calling for a 50-50 chance of thunderstorms. I don't know when those will be moving out, but I mean we got enough current.
Glenn wants to know how.
You don't need no more.
Glenn wants to know how deep you're fishing tonight, fellas.
Right now we're posted up in about 18 foot. We're kind of on a small ledge here. On my side of the boat, it's about 10 foot at the shallowest and probably at 25 at the deepest on Trevor's. And we're probably 30 to 40 foot in front of a real big log jam. And we just got baits peppered all around it.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, we're trying to get some scent down in this big log jam, trying to get one of these big flatheads to come out of it.
Yep, I'd walk me a bait on down and get it a little closer if it was me. Michael says the storm's midday tomorrow, but that ain't going to matter because you guys are going to be snoozing then, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be asleep then.
Yeah.
It might be in the truck. Do we have to check out tomorrow?
Yeah, at 11.
We got to have to late check out.
Yeah, well, you sleep in the truck, turn the air conditioner on, let it rip.
That might be, I might be sleeping down here at the St. Joe Boat Ramp with the AC on.
It's been hot down here in Missouri. I thought it was hot in Alabama.
It's a different kind of heat up here.
It's a different heat. There's a lot of humidity up here.
Yeah, we've the first day we was pre-fishing, we got off the water and we realized we had a messed up boat trailer and we had to sit out there in the heat for about an hour trying to figure out what we were going to do. And after we got done hacking those brackets off,
I've seen that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Glenn, they're in 4 to 6 mile an hour current, depends on where they're at. And yes, big is humid up there. Yep, James, it is. It's very hot. We had around 97 today, and we're probably 150 miles south of you.
Probably. Yeah.
Dirty Ore wants to know if you guys plan on doing it.
Any bumping? Yeah.
Yeah, they plan on doing something. They tried to do a little mystery or sometimes they will be trying out all kinds of stuff later tonight. One of the reasons they're not doing it is because they're spending the evening with us right now.
That's right.
1 pound thrust is your trolling motor. He's got a 24-foot Carolina Drift and a 100-pound thrust motor. I wonder if that'd be enough to hold in current, usually 2 to 3 knots.
Hey, can you still hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we just got some crazy wind pick up out of nowhere.
That means your storm's coming.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yep. Brian, I would recommend a 36-volt trolling motor, and 110 probably would be as good as you're going to get for that right now. Glenn says you guys need some easy slides to do some back trolling with.
Hey, tell them to send me a message. We can talk.
I promise you, when we get to Memphis, you'll see what them are all about.
Right? I've been eyeballing it. I've seen them.
Yep. Cad Daly says water temperature on Wheeler is 92 degrees. What do you guys have up there tonight?
What did we find up in that river? Like 94?
The hottest we've seen in one of the tributaries that's feeding in here is 94 degrees, but in the main lake it's 85 and a half.
85. Not too bad.
It's about 90.
Yeah, it's a lot colder than it is here than it is at home. And I guess that has something to do with how much current flows through here.
And you're quite a ways north too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big T says sounds like Texas. What kind of trolling motor you got on your boat, Josh?
I'm using an iPilot Bluetooth 24-pound or 24-volt 80-pound. It does pretty good on lakes and rivers back home, but there's no way it would hold up the current on this river.
Not 15 hours worth of it, no.
No. When we were bumping the night that we first got here, we had turned the motor on and just kicked it in gear to try to cut that current in half. And we were mainly using the trolling motor for steering only.
Have you ever considered using your big motor?
What'd you say?
Have you ever considered trying your big motor to cut the speed down if it gets in real hot current?
That's what we were doing the first night we were here. Yeah, we tried to cut it down by half and then use the trolling motor just to keep the nose of the boat straight.
Greg Sherman says he's been fishing the Missouri River at Herman, which is plumb across the state from you, and he's been having luck on skip heads and bigger chunks the last 2 weekends, targeting 20 to 25 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to go look into that now.
Yeah.
Gary Atkins wants to know what you guys' personal bests are.
What our personal bests are?
Yes, sir.
Blue cat or flatheads or
Both.
78 blue cat, 62-pound flathead for me. And only like a 14-pound channel cat. It wasn't even 14 pounds, it was like 13.89.
They're still a great channel cat.
Yeah.
I've caught a 74-pound blue about 2 months ago, and then a week later caught a 49-pound flathead. And my wife, I think she's watching. She'll probably actually give me grief because a week before that, the same day that I caught my big blue cap, about 5 minutes before that, she caught a 52-pound flathead. And I've been looking for a 50-plus flathead for 3 years. And the first time she's on Wheeler, she catches one.
Okay. That's all right.
So she's been giving me grief about that.
I think it's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Michael said looked at the radar and rain at the north of the Missouri line.
Yeah, I seen Iowa. Was it yesterday or was that today when it looked like Iowa was
Yesterday,
yeah.
Yeah, we were looking at the radar yesterday and looked how much rain Iowa was getting.
That's all coming to you now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
The front out of the rear of the boat is a whole lot different than the view out of the front of the boat right now. It's storming like crazy up there, and it's just patchy clouds and sunny down there.
Well, you just never know. It's Missouri. If you hang around for 30 minutes, it's probably going to change.
That's right.
And Candace says, yes, she is here. Welcome to Catfish. Glenn wants to know what type and size line you're using.
We're running 40-pound slime line for our main. Been using it for close to 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Good.
And, for our main line, we like to run 80-pound Cast King, and it's been working very well so far. I've only had a couple instances where a fish has broke that leader line, and they took my Demon Dragon with them, and I think they were trying to eat the entire. Yeah, I think they were trying to eat the entire rig.
John Spear says the best way not to get outfished by the wife is to leave her at home.
I'll have to remember that.
That's not funny.
Now, Cindy don't think that's funny at all.
No.
To start with, she's made the statement a time or two that if our boat moves, she's going to be in it, or it probably ain't going to go, and that's okay.
Yeah. See, I don't have to worry about my wife competing with me. With catching bigger fish than me. My wife doesn't like to fish, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but you have some youngsters coming up that will like to fish before long.
I'm really hoping so.
Heck yeah, man.
But it was a good time. I'm proud of her. She was really excited to catch that fish, and I was excited for her.
That's a great fish. I'm so happy that you got the fish together. You got the caught it. That's outstanding. Josh, one of the things that I'm thrilled about, then he catches those fish. I know that I got to find that fish and put her on it. So
Yeah.
if he catches it, I'm just as thrilled about it as you. Well, maybe not quite. Look.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get her on a big blue sometime soon.
She got a pretty big blue on Gunnersville.
Yeah.
That was a good blue.
Yeah, it tore Trevor all
Yeah, ate my hand apart.
tore Trevor to pieces. But it was actually off my pole that she caught it off of, and we were fishing off Trevor's pontoon boat, and I was going to jump in to cool off a little bit. And as soon as I got in the water, I said, "You watch. Now that I'm down here in the water, this pole is going to go."
And I'm standing there, and we're talking to Candace. I'm like, I just want his rod to get smacked so bad. And I was like, dear God, please let his rod get smashed. And it wasn't, I swear, like a second later, and that thing just gets hammered. He's stuck in the water. And she reeled down on it, and she reeled that thing in. It was a nice move.
How many rods do you have in the water?
We got 6 right now. We've got 10 with us, but the rules are only calling for 3 apiece.
That's Missouri law unless you have your rods tagged, right? Your additional rods tagged or something.
Except on the Mississippi. On the Mississippi, you're only allowed 2 rods in use per person at one time, unless they are either at your conservation number or your name, address, and phone.
Okay.
Dirty Oral Catfish says you need to fluff your baits, man.
Yeah, we're kind of just sticking to the rules right now and just seeing what we can do with 6.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. When you're pre-fishing, you're playing like you're going to be fishing in a tournament, and I think that's a great idea. Michael wants to know what kind of anchors you're using. A lot of rock over your way.
Hurricane anchor.
Hurricane anchors.
Yep, Chris Manny Gaines.
Man, I've got one of them. It's the most beautiful thing. I hate to put it in the boat. I know it's going to get dirty if I do. It's been in the shop ever since they sent it to me. It's a Catfish Weekly edition, and I love it.
Yeah, they made us a couple backwoods catfishing editions, and man, I'm telling you what, they're sharp.
And they're holding up well too. So to the rock that we fish back home, they're not beat up. Yeah, they're not beat up. The paint's not chipping or anything.
Yeah.
South
I still haven't used mine.
South Outdoor says you come down their way, the Mississippi River, you use as many rods as you want. Wow, that must be down around Mississippi or somewhere. POK1S4FOR said, ask Trevor about my hour's experience on the Missouri River with Asian carp.
I wonder if that's Paul. What was it? Who was it?
POK1S4FOR. That's the first time I've seen that.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
But if Asian carp or something else. Josh finally got his experience with them last night. You know, if you've never been in a river with them, I'm telling you what, you almost like you need to. It should be a bucket list thing if you're a fisherman to come experience how crazy and in a lot of ways unsafe those things are. Because those things
they will
take people out.
Yes, sir. They said that's Amy.
Oh, it's my Amy? Yeah.
You don't know who your wife is?
I don't know who
Welcome to Catfish Weekly, Amy.
Yeah. No, she's not a fan of the Missouri River whatsoever.
Not. John, I agree. Practice like you're going to play. That is great advice. Great advice.
I mean, my wife's first introduction to the Missouri River was like just a miserable week anyway, because we originally were going to a catfish chasers tournament on Milford. Went through 3 trailer tires, spun the bushing on my prop. So finally said, heck with it. We didn't even fish tournament. We left the day before, the morning of. Said, let's go fish the Caw. Get down the Caw, take her up there. She'd never seen Asian carp. So me and my buddy Paul are just buzzing around, by the scour holes below the wing dikes, and those things are just jumping everywhere. She wasn't a fan. I mean, we're like 10 miles upriver, and the bottom just fell out of the sky. So we had to drive all the way. I mean, it was just horrible weekend.
Now, Trevor, I'm going to give you some advice, and you can take it for what it's worth. But Cindy and I fish together a lot, and we have for a long time. And a lot of times when we're uncomfortable about running the boat, I'm going to try to fill a cast net, of course. And if she's uncomfortable about something, the best thing to do is let her.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help that we're out there in Milford, and everybody that's fished Milford knows how bad it can get. I think, honestly, it gets worse swell-wise than Wheeler does at times. And we're out there in this 18-foot pontoon boat and out by Wakefield in like 4 or 5 foot rollers. And in front of that pontoon boat done cut into a wave. I mean, that thing was sitting at like a 45-degree angle. I mean, I just look at her and her eyes were just saucy. She's like, "Get me the hell out of here."
Never want to scare the lady that fixes your food.
Man,
You just don't want to do that. Justin, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on here. Terry, I just can't make myself use that anchor. It's so pretty. I just can't. Doc, I don't know if he's used his or not. I have talked to them about getting another one to use so I don't have to scratch this one up because, we go a lot of different places. And I usually have the anchor with us so people can see it and I can show it to them because we've made pictures and posted pictures of it and different things. Everybody said, "Where's that anchor at?" And I take it with us a lot of time so I can show it to people, but I just can't make myself get it all nasty. But we're talking. Wynn talks with them 2 or 3 times about having them build a one to use. John Spear, you're right. If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. That is correct. And if you scare them to where they don't want to go fishing with you, pretty soon they're not going to let you go fishing either.
That sounds about like me.
Yeah. Well, now, Josh, your wife fishes with you quite a bit, doesn't she?
I can get her to go every once in a while. She's not a fan of going fishing like I do. I go out anywhere between 8 and 12 hours at a time normally.
Right.
And by then, she's ready to go home, get something to eat.
Right. Trevor, I'll give you another hint. For a long time, I fished tournaments and stuff with different guys and my kids and a lot of other people. When Cindy decided she wanted to fish tournaments, we'd have to go pre-fishing. And one of the first things that I always done was go in and get something and go make me something. And those little things, you just need to remember those things. It'll help you out.
I mean, my wife, she doesn't like to fish, but I mean, she'll go out and sit on the boat with me for hours and hours and hours and hang out. She loves the outdoors. I mean, she loves boating, so it doesn't never take much to twist her arm. I mean, would she rather go down and to the Panama City down to the beach and swim and boat around the saltwater? Yes, but she'll go. We go up to Tennessee River a lot for weekends and stay in a cabin or something, and
You
go
guys
out
were
to
just
the
in
boat.
Florida last week, wasn't you?
Huh?
You guys were just in Florida last week, wasn't you?
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Oh, I didn't really go fishing much. I went fishing with Ronnie Dixon up there up above the Lake Seminole down there, and I'll tell you, I got a new respect for Florida fishermen. I've never been intimidated to fall out of a boat in very many situations in my life, but when you're sitting there with the spotlight and shining around your boat and all you see is red eyes here and there and all them alligators in the water, it's like, man, I don't want nothing to happen to this boat.
Yeah, I'm not getting out there. I'm not getting out of the boat where them alligators are at. This ain't happening. If there's something that falls in, it's just in there. That's all there is.
Yep. You just done write that off.
Yep, that's exactly right. I know there's some great flatheads. Maybe we can go down there this winter for that. I don't think Florida gets that weather like you guys shoved on us last year at Winter Blue.
It's getting pretty rough, huh?
That wind's really picking up, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
That's what we're looking around at. These clouds above us are getting pretty dark now.
I don't want you guys getting into any situation that's going to be dangerous for you.
Yeah, if I start seeing some lightning, then definitely have to rethink things.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We can always have you guys on again. It's a pleasure when we get you guys on. We have such a good time. Glenn says they got them sharks down there in Florida too. Well, I know that them guys from Northwood Angling, they like to catch them sharks. But if I'm going to go out catching sharks, it's going to be with somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
I've caught some sharks down there, but I can't ever get lucky and catch the big ones. The biggest one I ever caught was maybe 3.5, 4 foot. It was just a little guy compared to some of the ones I see guys seeing.
Yeah.
That's catching.
I just seen some lightning behind you, Trevor.
Did you really?
Yeah, it is. It's a short one, but it doesn't matter. It hurts you just as bad.
Yeah, we've definitely fished in situations we probably shouldn't have before.
Yeah.
One of my earliest YouTube videos, we were actually fishing in Hurricane Irma when she rolled through.
Oh.
And we had 50 to 60 miles an hour wind gust. We were probably getting 5 to 6 inches of rain an hour. It was terrible, but the fish was biting, so we couldn't leave.
Well, I like that too. Dustin wants to know how big a live well you guys have got.
We got a 65-gallon live well. The most weight we've ever had in it in a tournament was at the Sandy Cooper. And I can't remember exactly how much weight fit in it, but we had close to 150 pounds in it. And
with no problem.
Yeah, with no problems at all. We didn't have any fish that were struggling or it was going belly up on us. But the biggest fish we've ever had in this live well was a 102-pound blue cat that was caught in the Coosa River by my buddy Cody. And he was fishing out of a boat that didn't have a built-in live well. And he gives me a phone call, and he tells me he's got a 100-pounder in the boat. And we always joked about catching a 100-pound blue cat out of this river, but I thought he was just full of it. Didn't believe him. And I get down there, and it's a monster blue, and we had to get it set in this live well to keep it healthy while we all just kind of took a break and took some pictures with it before we let it go.
I need to get Cody on on Catfish Weekly one of these days. He was supposed to be on one time, but Chuck was on. Something come up, and he didn't make it, or something happened, whatever. But Cody would be a great guest to have on our show sometime.
Man, he's an excellent fisherman too.
That's what Chuck used to say. So he's a great fisherman.
I mean, that kid.
Yeah, me and Cody started together. Me and him was the ones that, right out of high school. We were fishing from piers and banks together for years, and we finally got a little 16-foot, or no, it wasn't even a 16-foot. It was a 14-foot, like a 1970 bass boat that we were using to fish out of. And me and Cody are some big guys. I'm 6'8" and he's 6'5".
Holy crap!
We look like two gorillas riding this tricycle down the river. But me and him's been doing it for years together, and he only lives probably 10 minutes down the road from my house, and me and him fish a lot together on the cruise. So.
Well,
that's how I met Josh, through Cody, via Chuck. Yeah, Chuck had me to get a hold of Cody when I first moved down to Alabama, and then I became friends with Cody, and then that's how I met Josh. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, you guys have been tearing it up. Where are you standing now on the points deal for Cabela's?
No, we don't want to talk about it. We're fourth or fifth.
You was leading it for a big portion of the spring.
Yeah. We were leading it for
10 weeks.
Yeah, it was close to 3 months, and then all the tournaments went up to Illinois. And
how far tournaments have you fished,
sir?
How many tournaments, Cabela's tournaments have you fished this year?
We fished 5 so far, and we got 4 more to do.
Yeah, we're gonna be at Crothersville. We'll be at Helena, Huntington, and then we'll be fishing the Classic in Jeffersonville.
Well, I hope you guys do really well for Crothersville, right behind Cindy, and I'd be great.
Yeah. Well, as long as you get first, I'll settle for that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, if you get first, I'm happy with second.
Oh, you know what? If you guys beat us and we get second and you get first, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, because we got a couple crappy finishes that we got to erase.
Yeah, we got a 23rd and a 24th place holding us down right now.
You guys, they take your top 5 finishes for the year, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a first, a second, and a fifth. And then we've got a 23rd and a 24th. And if we can get rid of those, I think we'll be in some better standings.
Big T says he hears the locust in your guys' audio.
That's how you know it's hot.
That's right.
Yep. When you hear them things singing, it's hot.
That's right. John, you're right. Second place is the first loser. That is correct.
That's true. If you ain't first, you're last.
You might as well be. You know, that's the way I always felt about when we used to race cars. You was either winning or crashing. It didn't matter which, but one of the two. But you know, that'll be another tough tournament. I think there'll be a pretty big crowd at Crothersville. I think it'll be a really, really fun tournament down there. It's on the Mississippi River, and the water's dropping on it, so it ought to be a pretty good time.
Yeah.
I think there's a big crowd.
Yeah, we had to go right by there when we on our way here.
Yep. We had to go another 9 hours.
Yeah, another 9 hours after there, but yeah.
Well, that's not so bad.
No.
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty thrilled to see you guys come up because, you know, there's a lot of the big names that doesn't come to the Midwest to fish. And Trevor, you know as well as I do, we have a lot to offer. We got the Mississippi, the Missouri, and the Lake of the Ozarks, and there's some big, nice lakes that's full of fish in Nebraska and Kansas and Illinois. And Iowa has some great channel catfishing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good waters up here that don't get recognized up here in the Midwest, and there's a lot of good fishermen that don't get recognized, you know, because they're not living on the monster lakes and killer rivers, you know. But man, there's some quality fisheries up here, and there's a lot of quality fishermen and people up there too.
Exactly right. Some of the toughest people in the nation live in the Midwest. John,
to be able to put up with them summers and them winters, you dang right.
Yep. John,
speaking of channel catfishing, I would like to get up north somewhere and experience some of that channel catfishing. We don't really have any big ones in Alabama. The biggest you'll probably catch is 10 to 13 pounds. And I'd like to get up on there on the Great Lakes and catch some of those 30-pound channel cats I keep seeing.
The biggest that I ever caught was in Wisconsin, was either 28.9 or 29.9. I don't remember which now. But I have all the dimensions, so if I ever decide to make a mount for it, fiberglass replica, I can do that because we sure put that one back. It was a giant fish and a lot of fun to catch. I love fishing for channel cat. They don't have to be that big. I like catching them, and I like fishing channel cat tournaments. And the reason that I do is because the weigh-ins are so close. I mean, first to fifth, a lot of time is separated by a lot less than a pound.
Right, exactly. That's true.
That makes it a lot of fun. John Spears would like to know if y'all ever make it down to Texas for any tournaments.
No, I really keep on eyeballing that one. That big old payday at Possum Kingdom in October.
Yep.
Like $20,000 or $25,000, something like that. I mean, here's a lot of probably the biggest cash purse tournament I've ever fished.
Right.
$12,000. That's a lot of money.
That's a ton of money, man, and they're paying good money all the way down to what is it, 20th place or something?
Yeah, if you finish in the top 5, you're walking home with over $1,000.
That's a great payout. Them guys have really put on a great deal up there, and I wish we could have made it, but maybe next time we'll be able to do it. Justin wants to know, did you fish the tournament at Rocky Fork in Ohio?
We did not.
No, we missed that one.
I didn't think that you did, but I wasn't sure.
We didn't fish any of the Illinois or Ohio ones.
Hey, glad to see you made it in. Hope you're enjoying your new hat that you got from Offshore Tackle. What's your favorite time of the year? Richard Kelby Calder would like to know.
What's the favorite time of the year to fish?
Favorite time of the year to fish?
Ooh, probably April or May, probably.
Yeah, if I'm fishing for flatheads, it's definitely April or May. My personal favorite, my heart's always going to be with the blues.
Well, yeah.
Flathead guy.
Yeah, I love catching blues. I love chasing them, and Trevor's the flathead guy. And but that's just my personal favorite time to fish for blues, October and November, when they're really feeding up for the winter.
You have winter down there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you came to winter blues, didn't you?
Yeah, it was winter there. I promise. Like I told you before, man, I left my house. It was -4. We got to Alabama. It was 8. I mean, that's not a big difference. Texas is the
Yeah.
same bodies of water, but not.
Alabama tricked me. The first year, Alabama, we moved down there in November, and I'm on New Year's. I'm out there grilling on my deck in flip flops and a tank top and shorts, and I'm like, dude, I can get used to this after living my whole life in Iowa, you know. And then next two winters later, you know, yeah, knocking ice off, breaking through ice, fishing Wilson. You know, it's bad. So
I love to catch flatheads. Where we fish, for the most part, tournaments we fish in, you're pretty much going to have some blues to win it, or even get money. But once in a while, you'll get somebody that does good on flatheads. But consistently, day in and day out, it's going to be blues that'll win it, unless you're up north where there is no blues, and then it's going to be
right.
channel cat. Like I say, I love to do that. I love channel cat tournaments. I really do.
I'm a flatheads will probably always be my favorite catfish.
They are the king of cats. Like I say, they won't win every tournament you go to, but man, they fight hard. They stay on the bottom. You make you earn your bacon, and I love to catch them.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a big debate between channels and flatheads. Which one's the strongest spider of the two?
I have to say, channel cats are fighters too. They really are, and blues are. The thing about a blue that people don't understand, and you will understand if you get into a good one on that Missouri River, them blues know how to work that current to their advantage, and they will test out your equipment.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Them blues and heavy current, they'll get that tail curled, and and they'll spin in the current.
Yep.
And they'll open that big mouth. It's like a parachute.
It is.
And I've caught some nice ones below Gunnersville Dam in the Wheeler tailwaters, and that's exactly what they do. They open that mouth and they let in as much water as they can.
That's 100% correct.
And
South Outdoors says on the Mississippi River wintertime, look for the deep holes. You may get lucky and hook a 40-pound flathead.
Nice flathead for sure.
Yes, I love catching things. Glenn wants to make sure everybody has heard about the Bill Nance World Catfishing Expo coming to Memphis, Tennessee next year. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, we're expecting that's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big turnout for that.
It'll be good. It'll be really good. Don't Have Blues in the River by Terry Atkinson. The Great Miami's got to go 40 minutes south to the Ohio. 40 minutes isn't too bad, Terry. You go down there and catch a couple of them, you'll have a great time. I know you will. Oh, I can't believe you guys hadn't put a fish in the boat. We've been on here for just over an hour. No fish. Haven't even got a bite. It's got to be Trevor's fault, Josh.
We haven't even got a bite at this spot.
Wow. You know, the place that people that doesn't realize that before we went live, you guys was in another spot that may have been a place to catch fish, but you didn't have no signal to do the show with.
Yeah, we were in a deep hole up in this other place. Yeah, there was a big old pile of fish down the bottom of it, but we only had like one bar of 4G. So it was like, we ain't gonna be able to do a show from here. So went to another spot that looked more promising than the spot we're at, but then we still didn't have service.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
we were basically just driving down the river until we had service and pulled over and threw an anchor.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that brush pile would be good. Maybe later tonight you can come back to that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to get this trailer situation finished up first. We just got the call from Bayer, and they said they were an hour away.
They're an hour. Well, listen, I don't want you to be late for get that.
Yeah, once we get that swapped over, we're going to get back out here, and we'll probably do some bumping and probably some what the Missourians call it, dead sticking.
John says that y'all going to kick some butt tomorrow if the theory is correct.
That's true. No doubt. We might as well just get the trailer and just go back to the hotel room and just not do any more fishing. Just hopefully that's the theory stands correct to do terrible free fish and just smoke them on tournament day.
As long as you catch them on tournament day, that's what counts.
That's what I came up here for. If I just wanted to go catch fish, having fun, I could have stayed home and done that.
Yeah. Come a long way. You need to make sure you have a good showing, and I know you guys are going to work really hard just to do that.
Yeah, because the drive home is always a lot better if you win some money.
Don't forget you got the lucky rod in the boat with you.
That's true. I do.
I'll have to get my lucky coins in here then.
Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. Whatever you believe in.
Yeah.
That rod that you have of Cindy's.
I'm still kind of thinking that, today it might just be a curse because Aaron Wheatley was up in our boat,
Oh, no.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, he's no chance.
Yeah, Brian Pan, use what you got.
Old Wheatley, he's going to have a good time up there, ain't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's fishing with a good fisherman.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Listen,
so am I. So am I.
You guys have been tearing it up all year. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you're up in my neck of the woods. Wish I could be there. John wants to know, is there any shallow water areas where you're at?
Not many. I mean, not really hardly at all. I think we found like the only shallow water you really find is actually the weed dikes.
Yeah, one of the things that people have to understand is you guys are fishing in flooded conditions up there, and any place that was shallow, like sandbars and stuff like that, now is way under the water, and it'd be hard, especially since you're not from that area, it'd be hard to pick them out and find them.
Yeah, exactly. And most rivers that we're used to fishing at least have sloughs or coves, and there's not even many of those on Missouri.
Yeah, no.
You have these little
drainage canals, but that's it.
They're like canals that are man-made. They're like 10 foot wide.
Yep.
And that's about all that we can find.
That's the only thing that you're going to find like that would be feeder creeks or rivers or something that drains into it, and they're kind of few and far between.
Right.
Good luck tomorrow, Junior. Hope you tear them up. Well, listen, boys, I know we've been on here for roughly an hour and 20 minutes or so. I wish you guys the very best of luck. Thank you so much for coming on and spending your Friday night with us while you could be out pre-fishing and running and gunning. And I know that all the viewers had a great time. You guys telling us what you're doing and how things are going up there.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you getting hold of us and asking us to do this because we like doing this. This is fun. I really enjoy it.
Well, you know what? You know how things are between us, and we're good. You and I and Cindy are going to fish Mississippi River monsters together, and we're going to have a great time down there.
Oh, I look forward to it. I look forward to that just as much as I look forward to Cindy's cooking.
It'll be good, too. Thank you, John. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Fellas, if you like what we're doing on Catfish Weekly, please like and subscribe. We appreciate all the thumbs up. Being able to do this stuff with the great guests like Trevor and Josh is why that we are able to do this show. So as long as we know that you're enjoying the show, we'll continue to do them, and we'll continue to get the great guests that we're having. These guys are in the top 5 of the Cabela's Points. Led it for most of the year. We're so happy for them and looking for great things to come out of them for the rest of the year. Listen, guys, be safe tonight. Get your trailer changed out. Keep me posted on how things are going up there this weekend.
I will.
Yep.
Good luck to everybody fishing this weekend, and good luck and be safe to everybody fishing the tournament because there's still some big logs floating down the Missouri, so be safe.
Everybody, please be careful up there. It's going to be a great tournament. Be sure to go up to your tournament directors and everybody, all the sponsors and people that put that great event on, and tell them thank you because they worked really hard to make this a great event, and it looks to me like it is a great event.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Thanks a bunch. Just keep me posted. We'll talk to you tomorrow or something, and you get that boat trailer changed out.
We will.
Yep.
All right. Bye, Lyle. Bye, Cindy.
I guess she's gone.
She's gone.
Already gone, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for watching Catfish Weekly. Be sure to tune in Monday night. We haven't decided on a guest yet. We've had a couple things come up, so I'm working with the guy to put something on, so be sure to tune in Monday night. We'll be spinning the rig wrap prize wheel. Doc will be on here, and we'll have Doc's tip of the week. It'll be a great show. See you then.